Hi everybody, I'm Dawn Tidd, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I blog at tidbitsfromdawn.typepad.com, and recently on my blog I mentioned a couple of times that I was working on a renovation of my craft room closet. I was inspired by an idea that I saw on Pinterest, and so it's just about finished, and I thought I would give you a video tour of my craft room today and show you the renovation. So come on in and join me. I'm glad to have you here. I thought I'd just do a little walk around tour of my craft room today, and the first thing you see when you enter my craft room and hear my cuckoo clock is the Be Welcome sign that I painted on the wall. Then you'll walk in, and in the center of my room, which isn't a very big room, is a work table that my husband built for me. Soon after I started crafting and making cards quite often, I found out that I didn't enjoy sitting. I'd prefer to stand. So he built this nice craft table for me out of the cube products made by Closet Made. He put backs in them, sturdy backs, and a nice melamine countertop. And he even, let me show you over here. I know we all like to see each other's craft rooms. Put a drawer in the middle of it so it houses all my clear blocks and my paper snips and tools that I use all of the time. I keep my black self-healing mat out with a piece of grid paper on it all the time. I always have my heat tool handy, my carousel with my ink pads, embellishments, and then over here I have a little tray that I purchased on clearance at Target that holds, let's see, linen thread, candy dots, baker's twine. Right next to that's my Stampin' Scrub pad. I have a little tin container with Stamp-A-Majig and French scissors. Next to that right here is another tin container that has my rhinestones and pearls. And in this front section, I keep all my snips of just smaller pieces of Whisper White and Very Vanilla cardstock to stamp on, and I can really easily snip those out or run them through the Big Shot with a framelit. Then I have a little container that I have more frequently used embellishments and tools in little jars. Okay, and I'm going to back up a second and show you the other side of the room. Like I said, this room isn't that big, so this is just a little chair that I have in here. My husband likes to sit with me sometimes at night while I'm working and watch TV. Above that's a plexiglass board, and I keep all my wheels where I mounted them on the foam. They just stick right to that piece of plexiglass. So it's a long piece. You can't see the whole thing. But anyway, and go up. I have a shelf all the way across this wall with just different little projects and things. Above that's an IKEA hanging wire where I keep recently made cards right before I send them out in the mail. I've been a tin collector for a long time, so those are just a few of my sewing tins. So I'm just going to walk around the room, around this work table, and show you, give you the little tour. I have my printer and my TV, and then my work area. Along this back wall is, well, actually around two walls of this room are desk, work surfaces. This is like my office area, work surface, my silhouette next to my computer. I look out the window, and today we're having snow, and I can see the woods and my bird feeders, which I don't know where all the birds went. There were just bright red cardinals and bluebirds out there, but of course they left for the video. They don't want to be famous. Under this countertop here, I have a rolling cart that I won actually at a scrapbook store one time, and it holds file folders of 12 by 12 paper, and my husband actually built a little worktop for it so that when I roll it out it's a solid surface. This corner is my sewing area here. See out the window again, the other window. Oh, and I was going to show you, when I was starting this room, I found some of my old toll painting books, and a lot of them had cute sayings in them, and I couldn't let them go to waste, so I painted them on the walls. So there's one. There's another one up here. There's one over here in the corner between my desk. I just couldn't not use them. And then I got excessive with it. There's another one over here in this one. After you pass my sewing area, I've got some little storage boxes that I got at IKEA. Now this countertop right here is what held my Big Shot. All my framelits were sitting there in the box. The Simply Scored board, my tabletop paper trimmer. So you can see what a nice clear area it's given me to get them off of this section. And now that it's next to my sewing section, I can use it for cutting out fabric or putting a small tabletop ironing board up there. And underneath here is just a bunch of boxes, clear boxes that I have scrapbook projects organized in. As you can see, I'm a little bit behind. Just go back up the wall. My markers. My new Texture Boutique. This is the other end of the, over here is the other end of my work table surface. A little drink holder. I've got, well, extra catalogs, some scrapbook idea books, just some tools, different things down there. And then here is the closet. So the Pinterest idea took out the actual header, which I have one of my favorite sayings painted over it. We didn't do that because eventually if we ever left this house, I'd want to be able to put the doors back on. But I've had the doors off the closet for a long time. But we just started with 2 more cube sections, so that gives 6 across and 3, so that's 18 more cubes, and then put a melamine countertop on across the whole thing, you can see. And then he put nice shelves up with pretty wooden brackets. I sent a piece of So Saffron cardstock with him to the store to get the paint to go in it because I wanted a bright pop of color in the closet. But now you can see that I was able to move my Big Shot, my tabletop paper trimmer, my Simply Scored board. I have another cupcake stand really with embossing powder, embellishments, and lesser used inks in there. And then over in this corner I have my current DSP and then my framelits, which I use all of the time. And then on the counter, I was going to show you on some of these card thinlits, like this is the labels one. When I get them, I immediately started cutting everything out and putting it on a piece of paper and sticking it down in the front of my thinlit package so I could see exactly what was in there because I forget which one holds which, so this makes it really easy. On the shorter shelf, a little bit narrower shelf, I have all my punches laying on their sides. That's how I like to store those. This is a basket over here that has all my scrap cardstock. It's not in organized in there by colors, but it is by color family. I have a divider in there. And then my 8.5 by 11 cardstock is right above where I cut. And I've bought all the black canvas containers. They're all on the top shelf. You can't see those very well. That has sewing supplies in it. And on the bottom, under here, I have baskets with envelopes and my embossing folders, more baskets down there with just tools, like one has all adhesives and another one has embossing powders and containers. So come on in and join me. I'm glad to have you here.